better to do something messy than to not do it at all. Hi, I'm Abby. I am a tattoo artist in Florida, and welcome to my first YouTube video. Technically it's not my first YouTube video, but we don't talk about that. I'm gonna talk about why I became a tattoo artist while you get ready with me. First though, let me tell you what I'm getting ready for. So tonight we are doing a fairy ball at the shop I work at. It's kind of like a speakeasy shop, so like the front is like a bar area. It's super cool. And hold on, definitely not falling. This is the fit. This is the fit. This is gonna be really hard because I have to look at you, but I also need to look at the mirror. You know what? I'm gonna wing it. Anyways, all right. So I've already like prepped my face, moisturized, whatever. Don't shame me. I'm using BB cream. I'm broke. It's fine. Which probably is not a great thing to hear as anyone who is an aspiring tattoo artist. But we'll talk about that later. So why did I become a tattoo artist? Honestly, I didn't know what else to do. I'm gonna be for real. I was kind of like floated the idea when I was in high school that like I should be a tattoo artist, and I was like, I don't know, because like I always had this like separation between me and that as an artist, because I'm like, that tattooing, I'm permanently altering somebody's body, and that was always a super scary idea to me. Well, some time passed. I ended up going to college, did that whole thing. That's a whole story in and of itself. I kind of started off marine biology, and then I was like, fuck that, I'll do art. And I did the fine arts path for a bit, and I remember it was like 2019, great year. I was taking a mural class, and I remember it just like kind of hitting me. Like I was just like, why the fuck am I in school for this? Like I had this idea that like I was going to get my master's in fine arts. I was gonna do all this stuff. I wanted to be a teacher, but realistically, it kind of hit me. I had like all these student loans, and I know it's student loans, it's like a whole other discussion because like I had a full ride to another university. But anyways, yes, I had student loans, and I was like, God, I don't want to fucking have a shitload of student loans. I don't feel like it's worth it to like stay longer for this stuff. You know, I had like maybe like a little over a year left, something like that. I just decided like, you know, this is not my path anymore. It was something that like my parents had kind of chosen for me. It took me a long time to have that confidence to really make decisions for myself. Like I'm still kind of like one of those people that like needs validation, unfortunately. I hate it and I'm working on it, which is partially why I am doing this video, because like this is nerve-wracking as hell. Yeah, I reached this point and I was like, you know, fuck it, I'm dropping out of school. I'm gonna be a tattoo artist. I'm gonna do my own thing, right? And my parents did not like that response. They did not enjoy that response. I did not talk to my parents for a bit after that. But yeah, then of course, like I said, it was 2019. So COVID happened, right? So definitely was not tattooing, not even close to even being in an apprenticeship or anything. And then like there was so much going on. Like I'd planned to go to Atlanta. I'd done all this like paperwork and everything, and then like COVID put a halt on everything. So then, because I'd already given my lease up, like I was like just kind of in between states and everything. I had to stay with family. So like I never really had my footing anywhere. Like, I mean, when you don't really know like how long you're gonna be in an area, like kind of couch surfing, it's kind of hard to like stick to like a job. So I was like doing DoorDash and everything during this time period, and I did have like a few jobs here and there, but it was very sparse. Like I worked in a gas station, I worked at a pizza place, then I moved back down to Florida after everything, and started working in the restaurant industry because that's the only thing that is available around here. And I just kept feeling my soul being drained. And then I was like, you know what, fuck it. One day I just like was driving like shop to shop to shop on the beach end. And there's this one little place. We'll call this place Pineapple Studio. So I found this place, this little beach shop. Kind of sketchy, not gonna lie. Most beach shops are. Just because like it's, let's be for real, it's that vibe. There's lots of walk-ins, lots of tourists, lots of quick turnaround. And I just wanted to get into the industry, period. And they did not promise me an apprenticeship. She did kind of float the idea of me possibly having something like that at some point in time later on down the road. But it was never anything that was really promised. But I kind of like had just hoped like if I proved myself enough that maybe the stars would align. Time passes and one of the artists there, we'll call him Jared. So Jared like kind of started taking me under his wing, and he was like, oh, I'll help mentor you, yada yada yada. And he really like, I don't know, I guess he was like really drawn to me. He said that like, you know, I could always follow him wherever, and then he did end up leaving that shop. And I kind of stuck around for a little bit, but like quite honestly, I was getting paid like $10 an hour to be there, and my other job paid me way more than that. So I was like, you know what, I am just gonna go back to busing for now, because like it just felt like that was not the place I wanted to be at. And there was always this other shop that I really wanted to be at, just because it was like the highest recommended shop. It had the best artists. We'll call it like Sixth Stroke. I just like kind of put everything on the back burner for a while. This was back in, I think we're in 2021 now. I was like kind of in this like weird scenario where I was like living with this guy that I was dating at the time and his brother, and lots of shit was going on. But during that time period, I kind of got hit up by Jared, and he was like, hey, do you want a position at Sixth Stroke? And I was like, bitch yes, are you kidding me? And so I went in there, I put in my portfolio, everything, and they're like, oh, super cool, great work, blah blah blah, we'll talk to you. It's like, okay, cool. So months pass, and I'm still working in the restaurant industry. I think I'm working like 2 jobs at the time. I had so much student loans to like pay for. It was ridiculous. It takes like forever for them to finally like get me in there. And then I do finally get in there, and I'm just like working front desk, right? So it's like one of those like old school traditional kind of tattoo apprenticeships. I guess like I didn't really have one singular mentor. It was kind of like everyone in the shop. And it got really confusing really fast. I'm not even gonna lie, because when you have like, sometimes like there's just like too many hands in the pot. And like I'm doing tattoos, and honestly I have a self-esteem issue if anything, so I like had reeled myself back because like I was freaking out about so much stuff. They kind of like had me under like 2 people. It wasn't really structured, if I'm being honest. I think the most structure I really got, like there were 2 things ever that were really like asked of me, and that was like me tracing Sailor Jerry Flash, and then me doing all of the practice tutorials and drawing on the right side of the brain within a week. So I did those things, but there wasn't any like, oh, here, like, draw like 20 roses. There were a few times with like fake skin that I was like able to like sit there with someone. They were able to go over it with me. But it was very much like I had to fish out like any information. Which I kind of get it, you know? Because there's so many people, especially with like the other apprentices that were in the shop. Like I retrospectively understand why they were like kind of, you know. And also excuse my cat, she is straight shitting in the litter box. I can smell it. I can understand the aspect of like having people pay for an apprenticeship, because then you get paid for your time, and then they also like kind of like have a structure. Ideally there would be a structure, but then I also hear about people paying like thousands of dollars for an apprenticeship where they end up not even doing anything at all, and they just end up being out a few $1,000s. That sucks. I'm like kind of, I don't know, I guess I would say I'm a little bit of a special case, because I said I went to art school. I did different mediums. I did printmaking. I did wood burning. I do clothes altering too. I've done murals. Like I've done big scale projects. Like it's not something that's like, art isn't something that's unknown to me, which is different compared to like people that are self-taught artists, or even people that are starting like bare minimum knowledge about art. That's a little different. So you have to take my progress into consideration with that. I honestly like did like just about like a year of like desk work and everything, but like I was already like apprenticing and doing tattoos during that time. I got licensed a year ago in August, and then this year they let me out of my apprenticeship. I kind of progressed pretty fast, and like I don't say that for someone like tooting my own horn. I say that as someone who's said that to me personally. I try not to like, I don't know, I feel like honestly like I am not that great of an artist. Like I feel like I have such high expectations of myself. That's because I really give a fuck about art. Honestly, my apprenticeship was pretty easy, I'm not gonna lie. There's just like, I don't work at that shop anymore, despite being like only a few months out from my apprenticeship. There are good reasons for that. Let's talk about, you know, how to get into the tattoo industry. As like someone that's like just coming in, my best pieces of advice for anybody are going to be to, one, build up your art. You know, there's so many tattooers and there's not a lot of tattoo artists. Some people you will find genuinely just do not care about tattoos. And it can be very disheartening, especially as an artist trying to be in the tattoo industry. You absolutely have to keep trying. And honestly, you have to want it. You have to want it really bad. Like, it was like, I can't even describe to you. It was like life or death to me. Because in my head, I was like, living and working in the restaurant industry is going to fucking kill me. Like, it was killing my spirit, it was killing my soul. Like, I genuinely low-key wanted to unalive myself working in that field. I think all of my experiences have helped me, like, have crazy ass balls. I might seem like very, like, femme, which I am these days especially, but, like, I am queer. I do still consider myself, like, on the inside to be gender fluid. And one of the main reasons why I don't, like, dress as masculine anymore is just because of, like, I don't want to be hate crimed again. And that's not to say that, like, queer people shouldn't be queer or shouldn't be outwardly flamboyant or anything. Because, like, I still, like, will dress masked sometimes. Like, I still do. But I'm not as mask as I used to be. Like, I used to be mask. And, like, I just, especially around here in the South, you're treated different depending on how you look. It is kind of an aspect as well that you have to be aware of when you're trying to get into the tattoo industry if you are queer. People just are gonna treat you different. There's a lot of old school tattoo bros who are quite straight up Nazis. I'm not gonna even front. Like, they have fucking Nazi memorabilia, they're affiliated with Nazi gangs. It's just like one of those things, like, you know, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything type shit, you know? And you as an artist kind of have to choose, like, who you want to be. You know, do you want to be someone with absolutely no fucking moral code who will tattoo anything on anyone just for a few bucks? Is that who you want to be? Do you want to tattoo other people's designs the rest of your life? Or do you want to do something of your own? Me personally, I think tattoos are sacred. And I do think that the industry should be gatekept. I'm not even gonna lie. But I think it's gatekept in wrong ways. As in, like, women, like, even me as a lady, even if it is 2025, I still have been treated differently. And I have seen men walk through the door way easier than I could. So, as a queer person, as a woman, you're gonna see that happen. And it's gonna be frustrating, and just, like, stick with it, stay in there, keep working on your art. I mean, it kind of hit me, like, I really genuinely loved the shop I was working at in the beginning. Time went by and, like, the little rose-colored glasses started coming off, but I just, like, really lost, like, any sense of value for that shop. Because, like, I just saw stuff that made me lose so much respect for so many people, so many times. I have the jewelry and everything. Of course, can't wear anything around my hands because I will be tattooing people tonight. But anyways, my final thoughts, you know what? Just do it. Do it messy, you know? Just get started. There is an extent of, like, yes, you want to have quality and everything. Oh my god, okay, I guess we're falling. But if you never start, then you never start. And you have to really want it. Do your research. Don't just go to any shop, you know? Really try to, like, scope out the community. And another thing is, like, if you have to, get tattoos. Please get tattoos, so then you kind of understand what it's like. Watch people set up, look for the atmosphere. Like, if you have a shop that you're kind of like, I kind of maybe am thinking about that place, see if, like, they have, like, a flash event or something, because, you know, I know tattoos are expensive, not everyone can afford that. Go to their flash event, see, just, like, from the customer perspective, how do you feel? How is that environment? Because that's going to be the environment that you are working in. And then last thing, mindset. You have to have a strong will. You are going to have to get yourself through all of this. And not everybody has a safety net. You have to like fight tooth and nail for that stuff. Have to. I was working like 3 jobs. Just be expected that you're going to be working. And the one thing that I kept telling myself is that it's going to be worth it in the end. It is going to be worth it in the end. The nights that I was like fucking cleaning silverware at the restaurant, fucking dealing with customers that are yelling at me, working 70 hours a week, not getting paid for my apprenticeship at the time, like, it's going to be worth it. And not everyone stays at their original shop. Most people do not stay at their original shop, and that's okay. If your first shop is just a stepping stool for you, use it as a stepping stool. And when you feel like it's about time to leave, it's about time to leave. But anyways, leave some messages in the comments, you know, tell me if you have any other questions about anything that I can help answer. I will say one thing too, really quick. If you are tattooing at home and you go into a shop, do not tell them. Do not tell them. And if you do end up getting in there, delete everything from social media if you have anything on social media. It's something that's just like unfortunately very frowned upon in shops. But you know, it's possible. It is possible. There are amazing tattoo artists that are self-taught. And if that is the route that you have to go, then that is what it is, you know? It really depends on where you're at, because like if you're also in a small town area, it's going to be harder to get started possibly than if you're in a bigger town. But anyways, sorry, now I'm done. Like this video, if you want to look back on it, or if you just like the video, I appreciate it. Leave a comment. I'll have some more videos in the future going into more details about you know, tattoo industry, finding, you know, out like what kind of artist you want to be, and also like let me know what y'all want to see. Anyways, thank you. I have a ball to go to.